Are you considering getting a line of credit in order to be able to finance your ADU? Brooks, what
Yeah,
can you tell us about how a HELOC with our home loan can make this possible for us?
yeah. A HELOC is basically short for home equity line of credit. And if you drive around on the radio, you hear people all the time talking about, oh, your bank's offering HELOC or home equity line of credit. And they're really kind of a great tool for people to use because essentially you get a credit card, which you don't pay anything on your credit card until you use some money out of it.
Yeah.
Well, HELOC says, okay, your home has value. And what we'll do is we'll take that equity value and we will basically secure for you a line of credit saying that, yeah, you can borrow this much money and
Mm,
use for whatever you want to use. And a lot of people do things like remodel their house, landscape the yard. They'll, take care of it
yeah.
and they do it and then pay it down quickly. And that's how they use that. And a lot of individuals are saying, well, I've got a home equity line of credit. Could I use that for building my ADU? The answer is yes, you can.
You can?
Then the second side is that what you really want to do?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is you need to understand a little bit about how a home equity credit works.
Okay.
If you have a credit card and you go and spend $3,000 on it, you're going to start paying monthly on that.
Right.
Are they going to reduce what you're paying on your house, the credit card company?
No.
Well, a HELOC is not going to reduce what you're paying on your house, and that's going to go on top of it.
Gotcha.
And if you borrow an additional $200,000 on top of that, you can have a significant monthly payment that you're paying on that,
Okay.
which may perfectly work for you and it might work great. You just need to understand that that's how that's going to impact you.
Gotcha.
Second thing is a HELOC is a little bit different than your home loan in that it's generally on a 10 or 15 year max
Right.
before you've got to pay it back. And it's often adjusted on a little bit higher interest rate. That's what they're. So
Gotcha.
you need to understand how those work together and how that could affect what's going on. What I do see a lot of people do is they will take and talk to someone about their HELOC and get what's called an interest only HELOC.
Hmm.
And they look at it like a construction loan.
Okay.
Now, a construction loan basically loans you money to get through the construction process,
Right.
knowing that at the end, when it's built, you're going to have something that has equity value and you refinance it into one to pay for that.
Right.
So a lot of times they'll use a HELOC and an interest only to basically only pay the interest, keeping their monthly payments down.
Yeah.
But they have pre-qualified up front, knowing that as soon as they get their ADU built, they're going to bundle what they borrowed in their HELOC and refinance the entire house, keeping their monthly mortgage payment much lower.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
it's a strategy that you're
Yeah.
using to get through there. And essentially what you need to do is work with consultants,
Yep.
work with someone who understands bank loans and understand HELOCs and can tell you all the different varieties that there are,
Hmm.
understand refinancing so that you're set to be refinanced as soon as your HELOC is or as soon as your ADU is built, you could get to that. Talk to your financial planner, make sure that you do that.
Yeah.
Build a plan that says, okay, this is how we're going to make this happen. And this is how we're going to manage our cash flow for the first, while it's going, which is going to change as soon as we get it built, because now we're going to have income coming back.
Yeah.
And so you got to look at that over the whole perspective.
I love
You're not doing this the same as looking at it for buying a house.
Right. Right.
You're basically building a business. And you're trying to figure out, how do I get to the point that the business generates an income, which means I'm going to have some expense up front with no income, and then it's going to start to go way down because I got income coming into it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that definitely makes a lot of sense in terms of needing to strategize. I love how you use that word
Yes.
because it has to be strategized to make sure that this can all happen the way it needs to. And
Yes.
so that's
Yeah.
perfect.
A lot of times people just look at, okay, I borrow this money and I make this payment and I get this rent. And they make a real simple equation, which is a good way to start saying, does it make sense?
Right.
But what you really want to do is get some experts to understand, how does this work over time?
Yeah.
And while I may see an increase in the first 6 months of my money going out, I've got a buffer to take care of that. But I know that's going to instantly change
Yeah.
once I get income coming in and I change the way I'm borrowing the money,
Right.
so that I got less demand on me. And that's a strategy
Yes.
and a plan. And that's really how you create a successful ADU is a plan.
A plan.
Yeah.
A plan. And how would we get in contact with you guys to help make sure we're doing all the right steps to put our plan together?
Yeah. Well, go to aduutah.com, and there's certainly a lot of information and contact us on there. But the quickest and easiest way is just send us an email, and send that email to hello@aduutah.com. And ADU Utah is compressed as one word. So hello@aduutah.com with your question, and we'll get right back to you.
Perfect.